my dudes, welcome to Co-op Catch-Up. I'm Nomans Planet.
And I'm Gamerbod.
Welcome.
Welcome to you as well. First of our official new podcast.
Yeah, so this is going to be the first of the actual podcast. We're trying to work out what we're doing. As far as we were going to say, the podcast itself is basically going to be a breakdown of gaming and movies, both old and new, what's coming out.
Yes.
But we're a bit different.
We're throwing some TV there as well, I suppose, as
Yeah.
well. But also the fact that, we've known each other for a long time, haven't we? I mean, we had we disconnected for a while, reconnected. And we just feel like in this sort of modern age where we are in our social media silos, to actually get back to some face-to-face conversation, have some fun in person, feels like an important thing to do.
Well, that's it, because we never really did the co-op catch-up sort of side of things since, becoming grown-ups and having families and stuff like that. So the fact that we've been able to really do this and get a night to ourselves every Monday, when we get to do these broadcasts and recording stuff. But this is something we're both quite passionate about. So I know you've put together an agenda.
Yeah, we've got a few things we want to talk about, don't we? Because
Yeah.
we want to try and talk about what everyone's talking about in terms of pop culture during the week as well, try and tap into the conversations that we've got. So this week we're excited about X-Men, the reboot, X-Men 97.
Yes! Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I remember the original series, I'm sure you do as well, back in the 80s and the 90s as well, which was
Very
fantastic.
fondly. Probably about 97.
I imagine I see what they've done there. That's clever.
It's subtle, but go on.
Yeah, absolutely. Give them a subliminal.
And I think that's something we're going to try and do is like a regular PC tree. TV show from the past and from current.
Yep.
Probably always cartoons.
There's a movie we're excited about because there's a sequel to Beetlejuice. And I'm looking forward to seeing the trailer to that because I remember the original, a beloved film from my childhood.
Yeah, and I think I heard most or all of the cast is back, I think.
I
haven't seen it. So.
I didn't know that, so I'm excited to see the trailer of that as well.
Yeah, you'll have to remind me of every character's and actor's name because I don't do that, but I just go, I remember them from that thing?
Yeah.
Stay with the thing?
There will be a lot of us forgetting names and things and going, I remember them from...
I blame
frantically Google.
I blame ADHD for it all, you blame senility.
I think senility
that's
and
fine.
just general ageing, unfortunately.
Well,
I think we're going to talk about some other games as well, but we also want to have a chat about the PlayStation, virtual reality headset. They've done 2 versions of it now, and the second one doesn't seem to be selling as well as they thought.
Yeah.
And so we want to talk a bit more about.
So on news section,
a bit of news. Yeah. Yes.
and I think that's sort of we're trying to work out what our format's going to be. So if people can tell us what they're liking, what they dislike, things is going to evolve. Yeah, they're going to evolve. Things is going to evolve. But that's sort of what we're trying to do. So we're going to have TVs, and old and new. We're going to have movies. We're going to have a bit of news. There's going to be around entertainment, movies, and gaming. And something I was quite interested in. We talked about doing almost like a mental health section. I don't know if we'll do it every week because you have to put a little caveat into all of this. This is our own experiences.
Yeah.
It's not for you to take as gospel. This is how it affects
Yes,
our lives.
absolutely. I agree.
Which I think would be quite interesting.
Something from our own personal experiences, what we've been through, and how you've come out the other side, and how you've changed as a person, especially as age brings maybe a little bit of wisdom.
We're a bit older, we're a bit longer in the tooth. We've been through some shiz, less than some people. We've had pretty good lives.
I would say so. Yeah.
I've got a lot of friends that have been through stuff. There we go. Go that way.
And hopefully they're going to go on for quite a few more years yet as well.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'll be hit by a bus tomorrow. Now I've said that.
Hopefully not. And what was what did we say we're going to try and finalise on? Because my memory doesn't work.
Finalise.
What was the last part after the news?
Mm-hmm.
You've got an iPad there with it written down. No, it's over there.
It literally just says closing.
Okay, closing. So
this is your list.
This is my list. I wrote it. I can't remember what I wrote. So the closing bit was going to be a bit of a breakdown of what we're going to do in next week's episode.
Yeah.
I've already got an idea of something.
Thank goodness, I've literally got no idea.
We'll tell them all at the end, but it's all about a movie that you haven't seen.
Okay, I like this.
There's 2 things. We need them to come. Wait till the
end. We're going to have a bit of a movie viewing session.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay.
But let's kick off with...
Yeah, let's talk about X-Men 97 then.
X-Men 97. We're going to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
And if I've done this right, I will be able to overlay the video afterwards using magic. No, editing. Editing, not magic.
The smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. So we're going to watch it.
Fingers crossed this works. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Not too loud.
X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings. I'm grateful
Okay, so this is how it ended. I remember this.
Yep.
Yeah, classic character.
I don't know who the guy was on the right then.
The girl or the guy?
The guy.
The girl.
The guy.
The guy was the Russian from the film.
Morph. Yeah, that's the one.
Marvel animation.
That's where it ended, so you can see this is where they're going to
Okay.
pick it up from.
So it's stylized. Okay. Daily Bugle. It was in the same universe as Spider-Man. So.
Yes. And
Brilliant! They're keeping that.
They sort of tried to make it look like the old one, but it looks more modern as well, doesn't it? It's sort of more polished.
Yeah.
I think we know who that guy is with the pointy head in
Oh.
the shadow. There he is.
We get this done by working together as a team.
That's the same voices.
Keep buzzing in my ear.
They can't be the same cast.
I'm sure I saw something about that being the same cast.
That's amazing.
The X-Men Return.
Jubilee.
Cage.
Cajun? No.
Cage. Rogue. Oh, he's still my beating
Jean
heart.
Grey's there.
That's it!
You love that?
No.
Why? What's happened?
I'll tell you.
To me, my X-Men.
So Cyclops still very serious. A bit of a bug up his
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah. X-Men 97.
Boom. There we go. So you can watch them.
Oh.
The last will and testament of Charles Xavier. Everything he built now belongs to me.
What?
Bit of a twist. Yeah?
Okay, stop.
What didn't you like then about Gambit riding on Wolverine's shoulders into battle?
Okay. Gambit has one power. So
Yes.
I don't know if you guys just saw, there was a scene where Gambit held onto Wolverine's shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah? Look cool.
Yeah. And what did he do?
Seemed to be flying.
No, he managed to make Wolverine's claws glow pink. Because Gambit has the power, when he touches things,
No.
yeah, he
Yeah.
supercharges it,
Yeah.
and then what happens?
They
It
turn
blows up.
Oh, right. Oh, I see what you said.
He
Well,
just killed
It's just killed
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Like that, he just...
They didn't think that one through, did they?
I'm
well,
sure
you're
they
going to have to
will.
watch it to see whether or not he really does blow Wolverine.
That was the only clip that I'd seen, like, the photo of it. It's like, Gambit has the power to hold things.
I thought he just threw cards at people. That
And
was
then
his
what
thing.
happened? It blew up.
Yeah, I see what you mean there. Okay, yeah. They didn't think that one through. It's all
I might
stuff.
be wrong. I
It
don't
looks
know.
great,
I don't know the
but
long.
in practical terms, you've killed Wolverine. But he can regenerate, so he can come back to life. You can just blow him up again and again, and he'll come back to life. Yeah. But it will be messy, and you have to wait for him to come back to life.
And what would happen to his adamantium shell? Is it gone?
Well,
Is he back to bone?
it's literally just the skeleton
Yeah.
left of the adamantium skeleton.
So like, yeah.
I think you
Okay.
need to watch it.
We
Let
might
me
have to
know.
watch
Get
it.
back to me next week.
So that was one of my all-time favourite cartoons growing up.
Fantastic.
X-Men was my go-to.
I'm glad we chose it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mentioned to you about Gambit.
Yeah.
Being the Cajun, and you went, what?
Yeah, I didn't realise that was his accent.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
The French
Louisiana? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, from Louisiana accent.
New
Yes, yeah.
Orleans?
New
Yeah.
Orleans? New
Yeah.
Orleans?
Yeah, from that way.
Anyway,
Because there was a whole part that they did where you got to go and meet his brother, and there was the Assassins Guild,
yes.
and I want to say the Thieves Guild, and they were getting their mutant powers from like this idol in the Louisiana swamps,
Right.
and they had to
okay.
battle each year or each 100 years or something to get the powers,
Okay.
and that's how he gets his.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then one of them cheated. Anyway, yeah.
I don't remember that thing. That theme at all.
So I've got to watch all the new series. You've got
must
to go
watch it.
back and watch all the old.
I think I need to
series.
actually. There are only 2 episodes at the moment, so
Okay.
it won't take you long to catch up.
Okay.
20, 25 minutes. Absolutely brilliant. Really good. And I think it's a 14 plus as well, which tells you they're not making this for kids. They're making it for us, which is fantastic. The original was sort of PGU. This is a 14.
See, because I did think that. I was like, what's the audience?
It's us.
And I was like, to be honest though, my nephew, what's he called? Little Rocket, as they named him.
Okay.
Little Rocket.
Is that on his birth certificate?
He was named on a Twitch stream a while ago.
Right.
And he's Little Rocket, so that's what and he goes by that now. But he's like, oh yeah, I love X-Men. Like, do you?
Uh-huh.
Because he's watched all the films. I was
Right,
like, yeah,
okay.
of course.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
never
yeah.
seen the cartoons.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of
When he sees the cartoons, ask him what he thinks of it.
Yeah.
I'd like to know if he likes
yeah,
the
I've
originals.
just realised I've slumped down.
No slumping, no slumping. One last thing to say about Gambit when you watch it as well. He does seem to like wearing crop tops, which apparently are making a comeback. I don't know whether you're into them at the moment. Maybe you get one for next week. Maybe you just roll up that top. But the midriff is back.
I need a few more crunches, a little bit more protein in my gym workouts,
Okay.
and then maybe.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
alright.
At the moment, I'm just happy just showing the arms.
All right, okay.
I've rolled the sleeves up, but no crop top for me.
Work up to the midriff, the stomach later on. Crop tops, they're coming back.
Yeah, we'll
You
work
heard
on
it
it.
here last. That's been around for a while.
So before I forget, with X-Men, so obviously they've had
Yep.
all the movies.
Yep.
What was your favourite? Because there's so many, not necessarily your favourite, but
Yeah, no, I do have a favourite, but
You
it
do?
might be a bit boring to say this because I think people will naturally say it as well. 'Cause, I mean, Wolverine has always been my favourite character. I think a lot of people say
Yeah.
Wolverine. He's a very complicated guy, but he's also got the best sort of,
yeah.
one of the best powers. You know, I
Well,
mean,
because he's double powered, because he's got
Yeah.
the regenerative,
Yeah.
lives longer,
Yeah.
and
this
adamantium.
sort of man-made skeleton of steel, adamantium. Yes, you're right, with knives bursting out all over
Yeah.
the place. But I loved Logan because he was a bit older, coming
Yeah.
to, and there was the younger girl who was sort of like, you know, the younger female version
Feral.
of him, sort of very feral
Yeah.
as well. There was like a father-daughter dynamic going on there
Where's
as well.
Weapon X? Let's get you.
How can you remember all of this? I cannot retain any of this information.
I can't remember anything. I can't remember what I'm meant to be doing, but I can remember important
I
stuff.
remember the name of the movie, though, Logan. And
Logan.
it had Patrick Stewart in it as well, and they were sort of,
I love that bit.
you know, they'd been abandoned by everyone else, and they're really struggling. And Logan's powers are sort of wearing off. He's getting
Yeah.
older, and he just seemed even a bit more human than just this invincible, you know.
I
sort of-
believe his adamantium was poisoning him. He had adamantium poisoning, which was why he's getting more and more
that's a good
sick.
twist.
Yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
good twist.
which I kind of liked. So proper heart, and they did it well.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. There was something I watched recently. I was like, actually, same sort of level. I'll dig it out of the memory banks at some point.
Do you have a favourite X-Men movie then?
X-Men movie. I mean, I've got to, even if it's not necessarily strictly X-Men,
Okay.
Deadpool. He's in the universe.
Okay, fine. Yes.
So yes, Marvel extended.
Yeah.
But they feature the big Russian dude whose name I can't remember. Colossus. I can't remember.
I think Big Russian Dude was the original name before
Yeah.
they came up with the other one. So let's just go with Big Russian
Yeah.
Dude.
Let's go with either. It's a
Ivan
Russian.
the Terrible? That's someone else.
Do you know the
Ivan
guy?
Terrible.
So-
yes, I know. Yeah, the big.
So what I was saying with the whole Marvel and comics and DC and stuff like that when I was younger,
Yeah.
I used to read the comics of Marvel, but specifically the X-Men ones and Iron Man,
Mhm.
and that would have been 80s sort of thing. So I'd be on holiday in Portugal, and there was those tiny little kiosks we buy going by the chewing gum and stuff,
Yeah, of course.
and that's where I used to get it. I'd pick up a little comic, probably in Portuguese, but I'd read
Yeah.
and look at the pictures.
Yeah.
And so my memory of X-Men is the Colossus guy, the Russian dude.
Yeah.
And it was like layered armour plating
Uh-huh.
that he had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had that. And it was much more bloodthirsty. And I can remember Wolverine
Yeah.
and him being the way he was.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to DC.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I found the Batman Dark Knight comics.
Yes.
And they were brutal.
And that was way dark, even darker, right?
The one thing
Yes.
is Batman never kills. He killed. I remember.
Did he?
I remember him just pushing people off the cliffs and doing what.
Didn't they always fall on their own accord though? Like he'd be trying to save them, and then they'd just slip out of his hand, or they'd be on a cliff and he'd try to get them, and they'd
I'm
fall.
sure.
Did he murder people? You're telling me it's a myth.
In
He
the
actually does-
80s,
Yeah.
when it was Dark Knight
Uh-huh.
cartoons, it was the more sinister version of it.
Really?
Before they went, actually, we're going to start doing this. And apparently it was when they did the Adam West version on TV,
Yes.
was when they actually
Yes.
camped it up.
I mean, you could
And then
not
ne-
go from one end to the other.
That
More
was about as
wildly,
far as
sort
they
of
could push
violently. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
And my understanding was that's when they went, okay, and he's never going to kill again. And he doesn't ever kill again.
No.
But there's a great parody sketch where he just goes, go to sleep. And he throws knives into people. And he's clearly killing them. No, he's sleeping. And I love it. It just keeps me, he's sleeping.
Oh dear, Batman.
Yeah.
It was more acceptable back in the 80s and the 90s, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
So talking about reboots,
Yes.
wanted to talk about Roadhouse as well.
Roadhouse.
A reboot of a Patrick Swayze classic from back in 87, 89. I think it was 1989. And so now the reboot of it, starring Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yes.
is on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
And so I watched it this week. But I think, did you watch it as well? Did you have a chance to see it?
So I watched. I'm a bit older.
Okay.
I've got like 8 months on you.
Right.
So I watched the beginning.
Yes.
A little nap. A little nap. And then I watched the end.
Right.
I watched as, can't ruin it too much, but as Conor McGregor came in.
Yes, okay.
He just looked like Conor McGregor and
He was
just...
just Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Should we remind ourselves with a quick look at the trailer again?
Yeah, I'd love that. I tell you what,
Yes.
whilst you're doing that, yes.
Yes.
Whilst you're doing that, I can do the buffering whilst you try and load things up. Can you put up the original Roadhouse trailer starring Patrick Swayze?
You want to see that as well?
I think we do one to the other.
Yeah, definitely.
Because our viewers,
Yeah.
they're a varied age.
Yes, that's
All
a good point.
20 of our followers vary greatly.
Yes. We've got
Whilst
to cater
he-
to all ages.
Whilst he's doing that, little plug for everybody. Please do hit follow on Co-op Catch Up. Hit the subscribe button. We're literally just launching. We don't know what we're doing. But if we can get to 50 people in here, we can then broadcast live directly to your YouTube, so we can do the lives and do the recordings as we're doing it. You're going to go for the new one
We're going
first.
for the new one first.
Okay, we're going to go for the new trailer first.
Okay, and then we're going to talk about the original.
Sounds good to me.
Before we start, do you have insurance? What? Your coverage good? Like, do you have dental? Oh, haha. Is there a hospital nearby? Is it like too far?
About like 25 minutes,
So
I think.
he's got...
I just slapped you. Are you alright? What?
We tried to put a bit more humour in. I do like the first one, it's a bit slappy rather than punching.
I love that it's a bit slappy. So the dude on the right hand side runs a YouTube channel, and he's hilarious.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
You get it right?
The right T channel.
I believe he's Hispanic.
Right, okay.
Comedian. Very good.
Incredible. So the premise for this one, he was a former UFC fighter, and he killed someone in the ring who was his friend, and then
I slept through a lot.
yeah, and then he becomes a bouncer. Well, in the original, he's just a professional bouncer with not much of a backstory, as far as I know.
Everyone just fears him for being a bouncer.
Judging by your car, you need that.
Well, I like my
You
car.
know, they try to do a bit of humour. You know, I do like Gyllenhaal generally.
Know who you are.
What's that guy in the barn?
I've seen him before, can't remember.
Memorable face.
So yeah,
You just take a
that
big
is
step
the
back,
list of
pop
things I
in the
forgot.
face.
Guys,
Got a memory
use the
of
bar.
Do it.
He's like, I can punch again.
Tell me about
That scene,
Yeah, it's all
Yes.
nice. Like he's Mr. Rogers.
they shave him on the boat. I was like, I need to leave, I need to leave, I need to leave.
Really
I,
nasty guy.
this film is problematic for me for so many reasons. So we're gonna have to tear this to shreds.
This trailer is the entire film.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
People have a certain way of getting things done around
I mean,
here.
that's a whole lot.
There he is,
The fact that the
Mr.
trailer's just
McGregor.
giving away everything, really.
Hey, fellas. Looks like you're having a
I think they basically just went, Connor, right,
Yeah.
just go and smash up the bar, and if you want,
Yeah.
go and punch drinkers. Or headbang. Oh, that jarred me.
See, I actually think the trailer looks pretty good, but the movie was terrible.
Substandard, I was going to go. This is
So-
not going to be
so
not
bad.
from what people get.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is offensive to the memory of a classic 80s movie.
That's what got me. That's what got me. I mean, what I would say, Jake Gyllenhaal absolutely ripped.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's done some sit-ups. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I watched it, I used the phrase that was used in Rick and Morty for his abs in front of my wife. I'll tell you after the stream. You look gutters. I won't go into it. But yeah, I look with absolute disgust.
But that is a man who can wear a crop top.
That
That's
is
what
a
I'm
man-
going to say. I know I keep coming back to the crop
You are
tops.
coming back.
I'm wearing one next. No, I'm not wearing one next. Do we want to?
Guys, if we can get 100,000 subs,
Should we watch the old trailer?
I want to watch the old trailer. You do that. And whilst you're doing that, Ethan,
Yes.
I'm going to continue buffering with the whole ADHD thing, where I can continue
You are going to
Talking-
stretch. Keep going.
keep on
going.
talking about whatever I want. But yeah, so we're going to watch the other one because Patrick Swayze was my original action hero before he did.
They do not make them like they used to. Just let's just watch it. Let us think in again.
Guess not.
The mullet!
Yeah. Yes, my friend. Sorry,
He
Dad.
wants the volume on full. I'm like, but I know I'm going to try and delete the volume out
When
afterwards.
he's around, anything can happen.
How does a guy like you end up a bouncer?
Oh, so he got the shanking.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always the hot dog too.
Somebody gets in your face.
Okay. The bar fights just look like they went right. Just going to fight.
Don't be rude. Ask him to
He's
walk.
just shouting
Be
into a
nice.
man's mouth.
Help this gentleman to the door. Until it's time.
Okay, same concept. All right. In fact, one of those dudes looked like him.
That geezer who's been in a million things, can't remember his name.
He is in Family Guy. He's in Cowboy. I'm sure he is. The new Cowboy there. There's Adam West's brother. Which I need to talk about Family Guy in a second.
Worst I ever had.
Don't mind it being a strip bar, but
Yeah.
it's the 80s.
There wasn't a strip bar. She just was stripping in the bar.
You know,
There's one thing you can count on. He's the best friend a good time ever had.
it's
Before that, he was kissing the girlfriend.
that was
Second,
the
that was
worst
the
bit of
final
cutting
episode.
ever.
Wait a minute.
I thought it was him and Patrick Swayze just going at it. Oh,
Afraid of him?
they're literally showing everything. So that dude blew up his own shop to try and stop Dalton. Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton just shows up. Dalton.
Basically, Patrick Swayze isn't allowed to talk in this show.
Gee, I've never heard that before.
Wow.
Right.
So this is probably, let's be honest, this is probably the show that our mums watched whilst we were going, what are they doing?
Maybe.
I feel like it's like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. I got to tell you about the original first.
Tell me about the original.
It almost immediately starts with CGI fights that look about as convincing as the Harry Potter troll in the bathroom in the first movie.
The original or the 2024?
The 2024 one.
Okay,
I'm
so not
talking
the
about the
original.
one that's
Because you said in the original.
not the original.
Okay, not any
The
original.
new one. The reboot.
Yeah.
The CGI fights. Why did they have to do CGI? Why didn't they just do proper
In the
fights?
slap fight.
No, not the slap fight.
I-
The
the one
first
as far
one.
as I
In
saw.
the ring. Maybe you took a nap at the start.
The
of
slap
movie as
fight.
well.
Slap
Not the
fight
slap
first.
fight. He's in the ring where.
Yeah.
Are you sure you watched it?
No, I
Are you
didn't.
sure
I
you
didn't
saw
get
it?
as far as the
It
UFC
starts off with
fight.
Gyllenhaal walks in and he's got this black hoodie on and it's like an underground fight club and everyone's like, yeah, who I'll
That's
take
when-
on anyone. sort of
That's
thing.
when I went to sleep.
And Gyllenhaal goes in and then the guy's like, oh, I don't want to fight Dalton. Who's
Oh, that
Dalton?
bit. Yes.
Like,
Yeah, the bare
before that,
bare
they're,
knuckle
they're
fight.
fighting each other. The
Yeah.
bald guy, he's like
The
a
bald guy?
rubbery CGI.
Do you not know who the bald guy is?
No, what? No, because it was a CGI rendering of someone I've never seen before.
Ah.
Who was it then?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not very good. He's
What?
a, he's
I
a,
thought you were going to tell me
he's,
a
a,
fact.
he's a bald rapper
Right.
covered in tattoos.
Right.
This is part of the game. It's like a quiz.
I see, okay. Bald rapper.
I don't want to call him Mason, but he's not called Mason. Someone on there will know.
Okay. Please, write in. Do people write in?
They had a comment.
Comment.
Sorry,
It's
we'll
not
keep
Blue
around
Peter
that about
anymore,
it.
is it? You get your Blue Peter
If you'd like to
badge.
write him, we'll set up a PO box. Damn it. He's a.
That will come back to you.
No, it won't. 'Cause
Okay,
I couldn't
alright,
remember
okay.
the other night. I'm going to call him Mason, but he's not. He's.
Yeah, Mason. He's a great rapper with tattoos on, yeah.
I don't know. He's a really famous celebrity.
Is he?
I'm just going to add it in post.
Right, yeah, we just
Just my lips.
Dub
Are,
that in.
you're just going to see my lips go.
It's Darryl Rabbit.
Yeah,
Something
I
like
can't
that.
remember. He's a really famous one, but he was only in it for like 10 seconds.
Right.
But he's on the front cover
Right.
of the advert,
Right.
saying featuring him. So I thought it was going to be like a big part. That bald guy was never in it again, was he?
No.
No.
Go back to it. Look how terrible the CGI is.
Okay.
And put your glasses on this time.
Yeah,
I
I'm
might
not being
miss
like
that one. Another thing.
Yeah.
The script is so bad. Obviously, we just saw Conor McGregor. I hope you're having a smashing time as he's smashing things. Like, oh, who wrote this? Well, ChatGPT, I think, wrote it. There are sections, ChatGPT 3 maybe.
Yeah.
There are sections when they're talking and then no one talks. It's like they just didn't bother writing.
They didn't
anything.
bother.
They
Yeah,
just
that
stopped.
I felt it was really
They just stopped.
stagnant at points.
And can you please explain to me why he's getting a cutthroat razor shave on a catamaran in a Force 5? Why?
Because it wanted to move the dialogue along. That was it. I believe the phrase from a very famous YouTuber is, because it moves the storyline along, now get off my back about it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, fine. Yeah, okay, so we'll forgive that one. So it didn't do it for me, and then I watched earlier today, the original,
Yeah.
and Patrick Swayze, 5'10", he's like a rake, his like little pipe cleaner.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, he's a wiry guy, but he's got this amazing, you don't have to be big and built like Gyllenhaal to have presence.
Because he's a jiu-jitsu fighter, not a UFC
Yes,
fighter.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
part of it as well. But he's got this intensity, which looks like scary, like Like there's something crazy behind the eyes.
There's a really strange cut, and it's just like a recut of him just turning to the camera and just I'll try it with camera number 2, just smiling over and over and over.
Yeah.
And it's like punch them. Turn and smile. And it's just like, okay, that's where Patrick Swayze got his thing from.
Yeah.
Just this
all in the eyes.
Yeah.
And also the big mane of hair, like the mullety mane of hairs. I mean,
party at back business at the front.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Haircuts
You can
were
see
best.
why the mullet became a thing in the deep south.
Yeah.
Well, but I really enjoyed the Netflix side of it. The fact that it went straight to Netflix, and it was something I didn't have to go to the cinema for.
But that's because it was so bad. No one would watch it in the cinemas.
Very possibly. But this is coming to the cinema.
Beetlejuice. Yes, it is.
I only say it once each. We're not going to egg this on. So I haven't watched the trailer yet, but I have heard we have the mum from Home Alone again, who was in the original.
Oh, right.
We've got Wednesday Addams, the actress again.
Yeah.
Christina Ricci, maybe? The lady that played her in the original. And we've got the girl who's just done the new Wednesday Addams that also did Scream.
Yeah.
That is the hot piece right now.
Okay.
That does everything.
Right. Let's see who we
Plus,
recognise.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Who is...
Yeah. Michael Keaton.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good. Someone who knew a name. Let's go and watch it. Let's go and see. I've got all the movies I want to show you. Her.
Yeah. Who looks just like her.
Like creepily.
Yeah.
I used to go through the bridge and the bridge rotated,
Always Tim Burton.
And he was in Torchwood, that's becoming really big in films again.
Oh, there she is, yeah.
She's Home Alone.
Kevin!
You want to go home. Wow.
I just
Wow.
had a flashback to a character I remember. You remember, because I think it was the first film. Winona Ryder.
So was she the original?
She's had a real resemblance.
She was the original. Sorry, not Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Well, she did Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Because she went there. I don't think she could act.
Really? That's very interesting. There he is.
Controversial.
That is controversial, but
Just
now
slam
you
me,
say it,
in the comments.
I just saw her. There it is again. Brilliant, lovely teaser. Look at him, looks fantastic. I mean, Michael Keaton has done so many different roles, and he just is believable. He's such a great actor.
Honestly, so he again has had a resurgence, but thanks to Marvel.
Yeah.
Because he was the Vulture.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
In all the new Avenger ones.
Yeah, and
It's
also
fine.
remember Batman. He suddenly appeared in that the other Superman movie as well, where we had all
Let's
the
not
Batmans.
talk about the Flash. Let's not talk about the Flash.
The Flash. Yeah, you didn't like it?
No, we're not talking about it.
Oh,
No.
Yeah,
We could do an entire episode on Flash and Flashpoint and Barry Allen and we could do a superhero episode. I'm very happy
You
to.
touched something off there. Well, that'll be for a future episode then.
I like the Flash.
Why?
Don't break the Flash.
No.
I like the original Flash.
I don't know why so many people were down on it. I really enjoyed it.
Now, I'll introduce you to the news.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and what happened with the dude who's nuts.
Oh, him, yeah, because of that.
The
But
Flash.
Yeah, but the thing
Also,
is...
the film, trash. Anyway,
Right.
Another episode, another day.
Oh, but you're saying the original was good, but that was bad.
I love the original TV series. I love
see.
them. I
Yes,
love the
it's
2000s TV
yeah,
series with the actor that plays
Yeah.
it. And I love the cartoons. I currently
Wow,
watch
okay.
the cartoons of The Flash.
So you had all that legacy,
Yeah.
and then it was ruined by that movie.
The movie, the concept, the CGI, it is just the acting, the actor.
To be continued. Yes. I don't think there's going to be any other movies anytime soon, I don't think. Anyway, Beetlejuice. So
Beetlejuice,
we're looking
thank
forward to this. So Winona Ryder, that was a bit of a bombshell you just dropped from me there. Because
Yeah.
she was blacklisted for a while because she was, I think caught shoplifting.
That was her that was
That was the
shoplifting.
controversy,
I get
yeah.
her and Kate Winslet muddled up all of the time.
Kate Winslet's never shoplifted. I just want to make
Never
sure.
been caught.
Never been caught.
Never been caught
shoplifting.
shoplifting,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
quick disclaimer there for you. Check with our lawyers on that.
Yeah,
one.
we'll check it. Yeah. Okay.
But she suddenly came back in Stranger Things. And Stranger
Yes.
Things was this huge hit, and I think it was a bigger hit than even they thought it was going to
Yeah.
be. But you're right, it is her going like,
Same shocked and not
Yeah.
reacting.
yeah.
Oh,
And I just sort of saw the same
The
shock,
same-
not the same, doing the same expression.
yeah.
as it was in Stranger Things. So maybe you're right there. I never even thought of that. Maybe she's not the greatest actress.
I would love to see the best scenes that she's done. I don't know. Did she do the video with Cher, like Mermaids? Was that her? I think that was her. I think that was her as a child star. I think that's where she peaked.
Really?
Yeah, I might be wrong.
I'll be doing some Googling later.
We'll do some movie Googling for next time.
Yeah.
That looks cracking.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the first sort of animated, because they used like plasticine and stop motion when they did those scenes with the jaws hanging off, and it had one of the Baldwin brothers.
Did it?
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you're
sure
right.
one of the
did,
Baldwins
actually.
was.
And I don't think it was Alec. I think it was the other one. Or maybe I'm thinking of it.
I can't remember.
We've got to watch the original.
We'll watch the
We
original.
need to re-watch the original.
I'm very happy.
The original, the one scene that really sticks with me, I don't know why, I haven't seen it for years, 20 years, I don't know, longer, is the limbo, where everyone's waiting in limbo. That's what it's in. And there's one guy who's had his head shrunk by some sort of witch doctor or something. He's just like a normal sized man, but he's got a tiny
Does he
little
just walk
head.
underneath it?
Tiny little head. Like a Zika virus head or something.
I forgot about that. It was so much of it was Tim Burton's a really weird dude.
Yeah.
But he's then led through and done all these amazing films since.
He's not for everyone.
Have you got a favourite Tim Burton? So whilst you're thinking, the Shadows movie, From the Shadows, I think it's called, and it's the Johnny Depp version of a vampire movie. It's a modern retelling of Nosferatu by Tim Burton. In the Shadows. He's got shadow. Someone's going to correct me. Everyone's going to correct me.
Okay.
Sorry. But I love all things vampire.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely tongue in cheek. It's a cursed Johnny Depp who becomes a vampire, then immediately gets put in a coffin.
Right.
And then brought out in today's
When was this made? Was this a while ago?
5-10 years ago.
Right.
It's tongue in cheek, it's funny, it's quirky, he's like white and pasty the entire time.
Yeah.
But like the opening scene, he comes out, he's dressed in like, we'll go with 1800s garb.
Yeah.
And he comes out and he sees these lights before him. He says, Beelzebub! And it's a car. And he's not used to it. And it's and what are these golden arches I see before me? And it's McDonald's. And it's, the sign of the devil was the golden arches and all this sort of stuff. And then it's him in this modern day fish town. And it's got all of the Tim Burton actors and actresses. It's her. I've forgotten her name.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, she's in it. What a
was
surprise.
married
Yeah.
to at some point. Yes.
What are they?
Yes, yeah. And they've got a daughter together, I think, as well. But they were divorced a long time ago.
Timothy Burton, not Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. We need a flow chart for that one.
That's
yes. Yeah, that makes more sense.
That was one of my faves.
Just you can tell it stuck with you.
Yeah, and I didn't expect it to, but it's one of the I'll happily sit down when it's on.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, that's good. Yeah. And it's just an enjoyable, silly film. It sort of makes you think a little bit of the Dead and Loving It with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh yeah.
Like
when
something dies, it's a mountain and fountain of blood, that sort of stuff, and it's just totally over the top.
Yeah.
It's
all right, I need to see that as well. That passed me by for some reason. I'll check that out.
Have you got a good one? Like a lot of people go for like Nightmare Before Christmas. I love putting you on the spot because we didn't plan to talk about this at all.
Give me some other titles. What else do you do? Because
you could have been googling it.
I'm just going to be going for the original Batman. I think probably with Michael Keaton. Batman Returns, to be honest, was good.
Was that
with
Penguin?
Yes, when Danny DeVito as Penguin, and it was really gothic and sort of you could tell it was Tim Burton because it was sort of really over the top and dark and weird. Is Chris Walken in it?
Yes.
Is he?
He plays the industrialist that kills Michelle Pfeiffer before she becomes Catwoman.
Is that Walken in that?
I believe it is.
Wow, it's another film I need to rewatch because I completely.
I mean, I've just watched Michelle Pfeiffer on a loop.
Yeah.
Child of the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I remember seeing it at the cinema. And
I've got to ask you a personal question here.
All right, I'll try and answer it.
Okay. When we were teenagers, so this is me just thinking about women here.
Yes.
When we were teenagers, you had a big poster of a blonde model FHM girl beginning with C. It wasn't Cameron Diaz, and she was on your wall on your bedroom that was painted with
like
cows,
a Frisian cow.
The Frisian cow, black spots all over. You had a model. There's a reason behind this. I met her,
No,
and
you
I had an
didn't.
afternoon working with her.
What?
Yeah, doing like my
Who was it?
her.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Blonde, leggy, tall. Everybody loved her. Was C something.
Well, I definitely had a Pulp Fiction poster on with Uma Thurman,
I
but she
remember
had a
that.
black wig on in that one. She was
the-
definitely
she
not
was
blonde.
she was one wearing like a silver bikini. I can remember
A silver bikini on my wall.
on your wall. I think it was on your roof.
I don't think it was on the ceiling.
I think they had it on your ceiling. I'm sure
I don't think my mum would have let me do that.
that might be why it's on your ceiling.
What are you saying? She never looked up and never saw it up there.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I have to check in with my parents and find out what that was because that is
It's really
locked
it's
away
been
somewhere in
annoying.
the back of my mind.
I've had this conversation.
I was going to say, sure, it was my bedroom, but there was only one Frisian cow painted bedroom.
I remember it. I remember it, and then we'd go and play Monkey Island, the big whoop afterwards. So definitely. Okay. Well, we'll find that out, and I'll tell you who it is in the comments if anybody can actually help me here, because
Yeah, someone could perhaps help us if someone had went to Gamerbod's bedroom back in the 90s and saw that poster and can tell us who that lady was that you worked with for an afternoon, so you should definitely know.
I can just confirm no woman went to Gamerbod's bedroom in the 90s. Didn't happen. Anyway,
2000s.
In fact, you married her.
2010s.
In fact, you married her. Definitely. There's a big poster of her up here.
She is.
She's not the blonde.
She's still on the wall.
She's not the blonde.
She don't have hair, I guess.
Moving swiftly on,
Yes.
we had one more trailer that we wanted to watch tonight,
What are we going to watch?
which I can't remember. Was it the one that I said to you I wanted to watch?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Alien.
Oh, yes!
Romulus.
Romulus.
So
Yeah,
I
okay.
purposely haven't watched this.
Okay.
I know the lore, I know the history, I know about the founding family, the crossover between Predator and Aliens. I've seen them all.
Okay. I think I've seen them all as well, definitely.
But I don't know if this is in the Prometheus
okay.
world or not.
Have they just tried to create a whole new, or just
I don't know. So there was Prometheus and Covenant,
Okay.
which sort of were meant to be prequels, and there is a timeline.
But
yeah,
yes. Okay. Yeah.
Romulus. So Romulus and Remus, Rome, the two brothers that built Rome and then fought each other, attacked with a wolf. One of them killed the other. I'm wondering.
Yes.
Director of The Evil Dead. Good
Right.
start.
So you know what you're in for. Ridley Scott's done it all, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I think he has.
he has. And Black Hawk Down. Lovely. You like the pop? Ooh! Jam everywhere.
Face huggers immediately.
Oh, the shit. I can't Oh.
Yeah, true, but there are plenty old ships as well, so I'm wondering what is an offer that's new, because we've seen the face huggers before a few times.
Yeah. Now, I don't know the timescale. Is that going to be the girl that Sigourney rescued? I don't know.
Who then dies almost straight away, doesn't she? No.
No.
She did survive. It was the cat that died. Oh, we're going to watch that next week, The Penguin.
Yes. I'm interested in that.
Colin Farrell, that's good. All right, well, yeah, I just find the alien movies a little bit samey. You know, there's always a face hugger, someone gets impregnated, and then an alien pops up and stuff. But you can't get enough of it.
And again, so I love the originals. Like one and two, great. Requiem, I think it's called, the one where Sigourney comes back as like a hybrid.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
Yeah,
Requiem, I think is the Predator one.
yeah.
It's one of the things I like it as a concept, and they've come up with a lore and a universe, and they cross over and they do it really well.
Yeah.
I found it's really enjoyable. But have they done it too many times? So they, like, for us, we had the 80s and 90s, and it was all new.
Yeah.
We didn't get any repeats.
Yeah.
Everything we got was like a new
I don't remember reboots.
No, exactly.
Well,
It
really
didn't
more
really
original
exist.
ideas, really. Yeah.
But then, so everybody's been poo-pooing for ages on everything. Come on, do a reboot. Don't do reboots. Do everything from fresh.
Yeah.
And then Madame Web came out the other week. And it's been universally slammed. Everybody hates it. One of the worst things to ever happen to Marvel, but it's made by Sony. I sat there and I watched it.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it with fresh eyes because it's not a reboot. it's a fresh movie. It's talking about I keep on saying lore, the background, the
backstory, the origin.
yeah, origin.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the origin story of Madame Web.
Okay.
Who, if you remember the 90s,
I really don't remember.
you don't remember the 90s.
No, none of the 90s.
We won't talk about what happened.
But definitely not Madame Web.
So Madame Web.
But I did read about that she's been part of
Yeah, so she was the
the universe.
old blind lady in like a micro universe that Spidey used to go to.
Oh right.
And she sent him off to like War World or something, and it was all of the Spider-Men in this special multiverse were there to battle against the Kingpin, who was going to destroy the world.
Okay.
But then they also got Spider-Man and all of the Avengers before they were the Avengers, and they went to this planet that was had each quarter of the planet was split up by the Beyonder. And she's leading it all and taking them there. And it was Doom versus each Doc Ock. They'd all split it up versus the Avengers.
Yeah.
And that's what they've tried to do with this multiverse stuff with Spider-Man and failed horrifically.
I was hoping you were going to say no. I managed to compartmentalise and it was great.
No, I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
But then Madame Web was like, actually, they finally kept an original character.
Okay.
They did a backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did sound like it was written by AI.
Right.
Storyline was a bit crud.
Right.
Acting a bit wooden.
Okay.
From the fact that they tried something new, I was like,
Okay,
actually,
so they get points for that. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. I'll give them credit for that.
well,
I'm
anyway.
in a rush to watch it. It doesn't sound like a huge endorsement. For
No,
it.
it's not a huge. No, I think I'm the only person who's ever given it any form of anything. I try not to poo-poo a film completely.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people that put a lot of work
Absolutely.
into it.
Yeah.
Like The Flash,
Yeah.
although I destroyed it and hate it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great cast behind him that have done a lot of things, but there's also bits that really failed them. So we'll watch it together.
Yeah.
We've probably come to the point where we actually need to end this live.
I think so. I think we've covered a lot of ground. Probably too much.
But this is week one, the proper official one.
Yeah.
Hopefully the camera works. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
And I keep on saying, subscribe.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything for you other than you get to know when we're going live next time. You can watch our journey as this actually happens.
That's what it is. It is a journey. Like it's two friends having a chat, talking about stuff that we've been watching. And we're hoping to sort of learn from this whole journey as well, and grow as we go along. I think.
Get your knee down. You're in shot.
My
You're in
knee's
shot.
up there. There's my knee.
There we go. We'll learn about things like that. So look, next week I was trying to work out what we could do differently.
Yeah.
And we've said we're going to do movies, we're going to do gaming, we're going to do bits of the media. Totally forgotten about the mental health.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But what we're just going to wrap up with, because it has been a long one. Next week, maybe we do the mental health bit, but I want you and I to watch a film together.
Yeah.
We'll just do the segments, we'll do bits of it, little cuts of it, our reactions to it.
Okay, good. That's a good idea.
I've got a choice of 2 films.
Okay.
Okay. And this is going to be for them to choose. Anybody who's stayed this long to actually watch the rest of it,
They get to choose.
They get to choose. Very good. So Godzilla, -1.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it.
Yeah.
It's the 70-year anniversary, I think, of the original Godzilla.
Okay.
And it is from the view of one of the, I want to get this right, bonsai, not banzai, banzai.
Yeah.
He's not a tree. It's the suicide pilot.
Small tree.
Yeah. So from his view, one of the ones that went into Godzilla in the original. And it's shot by the same company that made the original one 70 years ago.
So they're still around?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's amazing.
Okay.
And it's in Japanese, it's subtitled.
Yeah.
It is very, very Eastern.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they've kept it Eastern cultural recording.
Yeah.
It's not been Americanized. It's not been Anglo-Saxonized.
Yeah,
whatever.
Hollywoodized.
Yeah.
It's not Hollywoodized.
They've stuck true to how they would do it.
Yeah.
And it's really refreshing. I want to see your
I like
thoughts.
the sound of that.
Yeah.
Because I like it going back to the original source material.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. What's the other one?
And the other one's a bit weird.
Alright.
The other one's a bit weird.
Oh, no.
So do you remember you watched Babylon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've watched Babylon.
Yes.
Do you remember me moaning to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, No Man's has been trying to get the hang of editing lately.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I said to you, if we could get rid of Brad Pitt in that film,
Yeah.
you could take every scene with Tobey Maguire out of that film.
Yeah.
And just focus on Manny and I forget her name, Margot Robbie's character.
Yeah.
And also get rid of the elephant and the drug scene at the very beginning. Just start from the Babylon credits.
Yeah.
I think that was a cracking film talking about the era. I mean, editing and cutting Brad Pitt out.
You really did hate that original cut, didn't you?
Yeah.
You really hate Brad Pitt.
I love Brad Pitt.
I've never heard of anyone saying editing a film to their own specifications.
I've heard of recuts, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try
That's
it.
an amazing
I'm going to try
recut,
it.
yeah. Wow.
Brad Pitt,
on.
Meet Joe Black, amazing. Fight Club, amazing.
Yeah.
I could probably list them all off. 7, cracking.
Yeah.
Something went wrong after Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It might be he split
Wow.
up with Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
And then he did like Burn Notice.
Wow.
and-
So he hasn't done a good one for a while.
for me, no, but I haven't seen.
Yeah.
He's done. He did sound like.
I mean,
did
Once
some
Upon a
space-
Time in Hollywood, I didn't like it.
I didn't like it. No, it's that weird. I'm pretending to act.
Yeah.
Thing, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. It's the same sort of stuff that you get with George Clooney.
Yeah.
And they've all fallen into this. I'm going to make a movie. I really can't be asked.
Yeah.
And that's what I get from them all.
The paycheck.
Yeah.
Rather than the passion.
Yeah. So yeah, I used to absolutely adore him. People have told me Bullet Train is worth a watch.
I only watched a bit of it. I didn't finish that one actually.
No,
Yeah.
which doesn't say a lot.
That's got the guy who the Sun said was going to be James Bond in it as well, whose name I still can't remember.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
Him. Beautiful looking chap. He's in a film called Savages, which is
Oh yeah.
yeah. That's watch with your
He's
wife
in-
and
right.
don't watch with your kids.
Who's in-
It's brutal,
Right.
but it's a good gritty drug dealer movie where they're growing their own strain and
Right.
then selling it to the cartel and
Oh, I've never heard of this.
it's
one.
really good.
It's a long way from Kick-Ass, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, it's the other side of it. So yeah, that's yeah. I've sort of lost my train of thought ever since that.
No, but thank you for giving me those two options.
Yeah, so Godzilla -1 or my edit of Babylon, which will be a bit boring for you guys to watch because you're only going to see little bits of it and we've already seen the film. But it's more talking to you about your thoughts on if it's better with all that crud taken out of it. It probably won't make sense at moments.
No, probably not. But didn't I tell you at the time that I sat there thinking, isn't this just the plot of Singing in the Rain?
See,
The
and
original
I've
film.
not
You
not
haven't
seen.
So maybe the third option is watching Singing in the Rain. And you realise, brilliant movie, hilarious, lots of good singing, some in the rain. And then you realise, why did they bother making Babylon? Because they already made the film. It was called Singing in the
Really?
Rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, option 3 is we watch Singing in the Rain. Which I want to watch more cult classics. I really would.
Well, you're going to love it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the options, and then we'll throw on at the end talking about mental health, how it's affected us, loneliness.
Yeah, definitely.
da-da-da.
It's a big, it's actually a big topic at the moment. People
Yeah.
talking about anxiety and where it comes from and whether or not it's, phones and social media and things. So I think we need to talk more about
I
it.
think we do, and it's something that I know. Like the community that I've built has been really, really behind mental health, looking after each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably something that would be good to talk to you because I know for you it's a very different world. You've gone down the family and friends route.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
seem to have gone digital, which
Yeah.
is still my family and friends.
Yeah. All right. We should talk about
talk about
different
it.
experiences
Yeah, that would
and how
be
they've intersected now.
Mm.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that one for next week.
cracking. So look, we probably need to work on a sign off, but I've been Nomans.
And I've been Gamerbod.
Yeah. Stay safe and stay awesome, folks. See you soon.
See you next time.